So I wanted to talk about Smash 4 consistency and Melee's consistency and which game is harder. So I would say that depending on if you're a top player or lower level player, the answer will vary. So basically, if you're a lower level player, I don't really want to use that term because it sounds negative, but I don't know how else to think of it. If you're a lower level player trying to cause an upset and make a name for yourself, Smash 4 is by far the easier game to do that in, and that's partially because of the moveset we use. A lot of sets are 2 out of 3, and we play in this 2-stock format, and there's the rage factor for a comeback factor. So you could just beat somebody for 4 stocks and just get like a quick 2-0 on somebody that's better than you. Or the exact opposite can happen. So if you're a lower level player, it's definitely a lot easier to make the upset in Smash 4, whereas if you're a top level player, it's harder to remain consistent, which is why the only truly consistent player is Zero. All the other top players, like MK, Leo, Ally, etc., like they're sometimes dominate a turn, win, or top 2, and then they're losing pools the next turn. This has happened with every top player multiple times outside of Zero. So the game is less consistent in that aspect. As for Melee, it's more consistent if you're already at the top, because there's so many ways to, there's so many tiny little things you can practice, like lead stashing, or these tiny little combos, or just anything. There's all these tiny little things you could practice to separate yourself from other players that can make it more consistent. Also, you're playing in a 4-stocks format, and without there being rage in 4 stocks, it's not that easy to cause an upset versus someone better, because even if you like get lucky or just you're able to outplay them for a while, there is more opportunity for them to come back due to a larger sample size. The more stocks you add, the more often the better player is going to win in the long run. So which game is actually harder? If you're a top player, it's easier to stay consistent in Melee, and it's harder to stay consistent in Smash 4. And if you're a low level player, it's easier to make the upset in Smash 4. So the answer will vary. A lot of people will try to say, oh, Smash 4 is harder or Smash 4 is easier. Well, it really just depends on the perspective of, are you a low level player trying to make the upset, or are you a super top player trying to remain consistent? For more future Smash content, please subscribe.